everyone!
Hello!
Welcome to Board Game House. It is Wednesday. You made it halfway through your week. How's everyone doing? Hey Barb, hey G, hey DeKatcher, hey Rennie. How are you guys doing today? Tonight, special night, we're playing Broken and Beautiful, which is on Kickstarter currently. Hey Sonny.
They're funded on Kickstarter currently.
This is true. Within the first 24 hours. We're playing that in a bit. First, we do some announcements. Then, we have the president of the company of Less Justified Studios that's going to join us, talk a little bit about the company, the game, the process of making games, and all the stuff that's going into it right now with the pandemic and everything, or whatever else we decide to ask him. We probably won't get too deep. But it's a beautiful game, so we're excited to play that. But first, a few quick announcements that we never go through. Talon and Claw, our friends at Talon and Claw, if you want to get something on their Etsy store, use the code BoardGameHouse, save 10%. Our friends at Geek On, there's a link that gives you that gives a affiliate link that gets us a little bit of a kickback if you guys get something from them. Hi, links. Come here, sweetie. Our friends at Charisma 20 Body Care, they make things like soap and all kinds of great products. Use code neighborhood, save 15%. And last, 1985 Games. If you use the code neighborhood, you save 10%. And also, there's a link there that says that we sent you. They make lots of great tabletop accessories.
Have we gotten anything?
We're getting more.
Yeah.
What?
Has the package come in yet?
Not yet. No. Okay. But yeah, it seems like it's the season of Kickstarters.
Yay!
We're playing this one tonight. Next week we're playing two. If you didn't hear earlier, so we're playing Broken and Beautiful tonight, and then next week we're playing both Through Ice and Snow from Two Tomato Games, and then we're playing Glitch Squad from Resonum on Wednesday and Friday of next week.
Which you already saw us play on Monday.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's everything we really need to talk about right now. Can we introduce our guest?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't be nervous, Jeff. I'm switching over.
No.
Everyone say hello to Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Everyone should be able to hear you. If Jeff is too quiet, guys, just let me know and I will turn him up. So, Jeff, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, sure thing. My name's Jeff Tidball. I decided as a 12-year-old that Dungeons & Dragons was nearly the very best conceivable thing, and decided that I would become a game designer. And that is more or less what happened in pretty much a straight line. Like one of the things that I did in high school was force them to let me do an independent study as a senior where I wrote a Call of Cthulhu scenario along with an English teacher who was my advisor and shipped it off to Chaosium to try to convince them to publish it, which they wisely did not do. But, did some design, did some freelancing in college. There were no game design programs that were formal. They're all over the place now, but there was nothing like that at the time I was in college. So I've got a bog standard English degree, but was super fortunate that I kind of got connected to a local publisher, Atlas Games, and wound up getting kind of my dream job working at a game company as a senior in college. And frankly, it was only my mom and my fiance convinced me not to drop out of school. I needed that BA later when I decided to go to grad school. But I worked for 5 years at Atlas Games. I worked on Ars Magica and some board games, some card games. Left gaming forever to go to film school. Came back because you got to have a day job when you're trying to become a filmmaker. Worked at Fantasy Flight Games for a while, worked at Atlas Games again. I was the line developer on the Dragon Age RPG at Green Ronin for a while. Worked on the Lord of the Rings RPG while those films were coming out at Decipher at their LA studio. So have worked at a lot of different places. I just love tabletop games, and you can't make me stop making them, basically.
Well, that sounds like the perfect straight line to everything that I think would be exciting. I did not take that route. So that's why you're over there and I'm sitting here.
It's funny that you mentioned the Fantasy Age game, that play system, because that in a very roundabout way actually kind of started this channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, we started because the whole thing, the long and short story of Board Game House is we first started because I started watching Tabletop with Will Wheaton, which a lot of people did. And a friend of mine was really into it, so he had a few games, and I started buying games. And, once you buy one game, you have to buy 300, because that's just how it works. And so we were watching Tabletop, and then Will started doing his little mini series of Titan's Grave, which was based on the Fantasy Age system, and none of us had ever played D&D at all. And if you've never played D&D, it can be a little bit intimidating, especially for everyone being a first-time player. And so instead, we decided to actually use the Fantasy Age system because it's just a 3d6 system and it was much easier for us to use. And then, long story short, that Titan's Grave led us into Critical Role because of Laura Bailey having that crossover. And then we went to see Critical Role live at Gen Con one year, and that was our main purpose to go see Critical Role live because we were all critters. And then we went to the convention, was like, oh.
And then we got addicted.
We love board game, like, because we love board games, but it wasn't like we're like, oh, this is gonna be a great convention. We were going for Critical Role, but on the drive home, we're kind of like, you know what? We should do that. We should play board games on air for people and see if they like it. And almost 4 years later, here we are. So if you worked on that, you're partly to blame for this.
Well, so I picked up, Chris Pramus did the initial system design on that, and I think that that's a fantastic game system. I really, really like the way that the stunt system works in the Age games. They, for my money, inject just the right amount of kind of narrative possibility that you don't otherwise get in D&D, where it can become very like formulaic and rote the way you do the mechanical interactions inside combat. But Age, I think, has just the right balance of that. You can go all the way to the other side and play a game like Rollmaster, where you are, which is the oldest of old school nonsense. I don't know if that is even in print anymore. That was one of my very favorite games in high school and college, but where there is, it just bogs the gameplay down because there is so much mechanical stuff going on. So Age is just great. I wish I could take more credit for having done the original design, but it was great to do development and supplement work and work with the community and work with the team over at Green Ronin, who are fantastic, every one of them. I've known them since early days at Atlas. Their founders were very involved in Ars Magica, which was the game that I was kind of leading the development on at the time. They were part of a group called the Secret Masters of Ars Magica, who, when Atlas acquired Ars Magica, we were kind of handed this secret listserv of like super influencers in the Ars Magica community. So they were part of the secret cabal telling me what to do as I, like a 22-year-old, trying to figure out how do you have a career in game publishing.
So how did you make that jump from working for all those different people to actually kind of starting Left Justified and kind of deciding to publish your own games?
Yeah, sure. So, like, I had done, even at Atlas Games in the late 90s, I had it was such a small company, and at one point it was just the president and I, because they went through some layoffs in the first collectible card game bust. But I like learned every piece of that process, from like literally packing boxes in the warehouse, but hiring freelancers. I had to learn how to do layout of books. I commissioned art. We were working in like early Quark Express back in the day, like Photoshop 2. I don't think we ever used the literal original Photoshop, but we were there before layers. So like I had just learned all of those things, and so had all of the I don't want to say expertise, because that makes me sound a lot better at it than I was, but I had seen all the parts of it, and so it was kind of natural to imagine that I could do all those things. Now, I didn't at that point. I worked for other people's companies still for a really long time. When my wife and I moved back to Minneapolis from Los Angeles, after going to film school and like realizing that we were going to live in a 500 square foot house until the end of time if we did not get out of the most expensive place to live in the universe, I wound up working at Fantasy Flight Games for 3 years. One of those old school experiences at Atlas in the late 90s was actually that we shared our office and warehouse space with Fantasy Flight Games when they were first getting started. So it was Chris Peterson and his one other employee. Like, I remember them sitting in the warehouse hand assembling Disc Wars from like pallets of flats that they had. Anyway, I wound up working at Fantasy Flight for about 3 years. And one of my like secret motivations for going there, we kind of joked around, was to learn the plans for the Death Star and figure out like how is it that this production process works of getting plastic figures made in China and making these games that are in boxes larger than my desk. So that was another part of it, was learning more about those production processes related to overseas production. And then when I left Fantasy Flight in 2009 is actually when the Left Justified LLC, which is the incorporated name of my company, was like registered with the government, because I did for maybe 6 years freelance design and development. So I worked on, that was the period when I worked for Green Ronin on Dragon Age as a contractor. I did my own board and card game design. So I did a game called Cthulhu 500, which is a Cthulhu road racing crossover. And lots of other games that I worked on for lots of different clients at that time. So the government company goes back to then. Now, the first game that I published as Left Justified Studio was the original edition of Band or Album, which we talked about at PAX Unplugged, I think, when we met up there. But that's a ridiculous social game that we could talk more about later if anybody wants. But the genesis of Broken and Beautiful and other like real game publishing that's come along later is kind of during the pandemic. I was like, man, having a boss has become old. What if I just did all of these things? And you know, like that is a great idea and a terrible idea all at the same time, right? It's like leaving the greater financial stability of like your paychecks are going to keep coming. But on the other hand, you kind of get to decide stuff. So you pick the games that you want to do, figure out how you're going to do them. If you decide that you just don't want to stay inside the budget, you're welcome to not stay inside the budget. That means like a trip to your savings account, or it means, you know, more freelancing nights and weekends or whatever. But a lot of the push to make Left Justified Studio more a public-facing brand and to publish games was about just being ready to not have a boss anymore.
So, what all games have you put out with Left Justified? That are maybe that people could still get either at a local game shop or on your website, or what games are out there for you guys?
With the Left Justified brand name on them, at the moment it is Bander Album and Bander Album Remix, and then Broken and Beautiful will actually be the first boxed game with that brand on it. But one of the other ways that I pursued, so one of the things that first-time publishers often overlook or don't understand that I had insight into from being in the business for all these years is that it's very hard to get distribution for your games if you've only got 1 or 2 titles. None of the distributors want to talk to you. It's just, in addition to your game being small, they have to talk to you a lot, and you're just one person. They can't talk to 500 different publishers that only have 1 game apiece. They want to talk to publishers that are producing a catalog of things. So one of the ways that I thought I could do well was to acquire 1 or more existing game companies to kind of feed the Left Justified beast and make it worthwhile for stores and distributors to want to talk to me and stock a wide variety of things. So while I was working on Broken and Beautiful and another game that I've got coming up that is currently called Ruby Hunters with the designer Shane Carr, is that Prolific Games came up for sale. I've known the Bill Sininger and John Harris, who were the kind of original founders of that company. It's been around for, I think, nearly 15 years now. Their main game, Flapjacks and Sasquatches, has got a phenomenal Amazon rating on like families who love this game. It is not beloved of Board Game Geek because it's kind of a take that game with lots of luck involved, but it sells and sells over time. It turns out that you can't make it stop selling. So those 2 guys were ready to get out of the business of having kind of nights and weekends commitments. And we started talking about that, and I wound up buying Prolific Games from them, I guess almost exactly a year ago as we sit here and record this. So the entire Prolific Games catalog is part of the Left Justified umbrella. So if any of the viewers have ever seen Flapjacks and Sasquatches or any of its expansions, Witch Slapped is another one of their titles. Cultists in Cthulhu is a reskin of Flapjacks and Sasquatches. And then the other thing that we did is got a license for a French published game called Kill the Unicorns, because it is very similar in feel to the Flapjacks games in that it is a humorously themed take that game that's a lot of fun and kind of appeals to the same kinds of gamers. So that we are now the North American publishing partner of Morning in France for that. But that's inside the Left Justified brand. I thought it made sense to keep those two brands separate. I think that probably in many cases there's a different style of gamer who would like Broken and Beautiful on one hand, which is a very kind of elegant and refined game, and would like Flapjacks and Sasquatches or Kill the Unicorns on the other hand, which are very like crazy games where you poke people in the eye and roll dice and do crazy stuff. So people might have seen the Prolific Line stuff, the Left Justified stuff will continue to grow in parallel, but they're kind of aimed at different gamer groups.
Sure. One of our community members just said, Cultist and Cthulhu is a reskin of Flapjack and Sasquatch. That's a wild sentence that could only happen in the gaming community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So obviously the whole gaming industry has been hit a little bit hard with the pandemic, especially when it comes to being a publisher, trying to get games to be able to produce and sell. Have you run any of those kind of difficulties when it comes to like what you're trying to do, and with like especially having a game on Kickstarter now, or are you worried about any type of production challenges in the future?
So yes and no. It has become dramatically more expensive to get physical games from overseas printers into North America and into Europe. It looks at this point like it's anybody's guess whether those will get dramatically better over time. And I think if any given person tells you that yes, they're going to get better or no, they're not, that's as much a reflection of whether you're talking to an optimist or a pessimist as it is of whether they have done any kind of like deep research into the international logistics economy. If everything stays exactly as it is now, it is still very possible for me to print the kinds of games that I'm printing anyway and to bring them over. It's just that shipping over a container of games is going to cost more like $15,000 as it might today than like the $4,000 or $5,000 that it cost to ship it over when I was working at Fantasy Flight in the late aughts. So it's just, you know, if there's 10,000 games in that container, each one of them basically costs this publisher $1.50 more. You know, which is not trivial, but on the other hand, even if the publisher is marking up those games 5 or 6 times, which is a relatively common multiple, that really only means that that game is costing in the store $5 or $6 or maybe $10 more than it was 10 years ago or, you know, 3 years ago or whatever. So like that's still very absorbable. There's not very many people who are going to be like, well, for those $7 I will never play a game again. That just doesn't seem very likely to me.
This is an addiction.
You know,
There is
people
no
might buy
saying.
fewer games. So we'll kind of see on that front. I don't think that anybody's got a really good sense of what that means for the marketplace. But honestly, if people buy slightly fewer games, that's maybe okay. We see lots of pictures of people's shelves of shrink-wrapped games that they have not played yet. Like if there were fewer of those,
All right,
you know,
don't
maybe
come at
some
us.
maybe some publishers publish fewer games. Maybe slightly fewer people can be publishers in a gameful way. But like if you step back and think about society is not enriched by 600,000
Right.
shrink-wrapped games sitting around in people's basements. So, you know, I don't know. It's also, we've seen a pretty big renaissance in online play platforms. Tabletop Simulator is something that I would not ever have bothered to learn outside of pandemic, but that turned out to be an extremely useful prototyping tool. It's a lot faster to, for example, build a digital implementation of Broken and Beautiful than it is to print all of the cards. Especially since they're double-sided, so you got to print both sides, sleeve them back to back, make sure that's not messed up, and then, you know, if you then iterate from that, you got to print the entire thing again and invest another hour in doing that. Whereas the digital prototyping process for Broken and Beautiful and Tabletop Simulator, once I got to the point where I could have it ingest a file straight out of InDesign, it took me like 7 minutes to completely rebuild the entire thing and be able to test it with a new thing. So that was another benefit of, I guess, pandemic life in game design.
So let's talk a little bit about Broken and Beautiful. I'm sure it was a mass email to everyone that was there. That was there were like they had press badges or whatever or media badges during PAX U. But you sent us an email and we looked at it and we're like, oh, this game looks really nice. And it was the art and the style that it was that actually caught our attention, because we got a lot of those emails and we didn't reach out to want to meet with everyone because of that. Like, I guess, where do you fall on the, and this is kind of a trick question, but I'll get to why I'm asking it. So there's always that debate of a mechanic versus theme. And like, how do you, like, some people like, I'm very much a theme person, so like if it has Cthulhu in it, I'm gonna get the game because I love Cthulhu. And some people are like, I love mechanics. If it's a worker placement, I'm gonna get it because I love worker placements. Where do you personally fall on that line?
I am increasingly interested in like, just because of how much stuff is in my life otherwise. Like, I've got kids, we've got a house, I've got a lawn to mow. Like, the amount of time in my life for gaming like narrows almost to an infinite point away. So on the one hand, pity me. On the other hand, what that means is that like I only want to invest gaming time in games that are really great. And increasingly that means that I only want to play games that I've already played and that I know are good. And that's bad. That like closes me off to trying new stuff. But so that leads me to say that I only want to play the games that have fantastic themes and fantastic mechanics. And not only that, but that they are married to each other in a way that makes sense for both of them. So they have mechanics that uniquely reflect what is magnificent about their theme. So like if I don't know, if I believe that the D20 system is the most majestic game mechanic ever, and I believe that, I don't know, the sinking of the Titanic is the best conceivable theme. Like, mashing those two together would even still not be the greatest thing if there's not something about those mechanics and something about that theme which somehow causes them to relate to each other. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess the reason why I asked that is because as we all walked away from the game, I think that's kind of what caught all of us off guard the most about the game is, for me, how perfectly the mechanic and the theme work together in your game, and how it does really marry those two things. Of for it is a relatively, on the surface, it's a very simplistic set collecting type game, but with the mechanic of breaking things and repairing things using the gold and things like that, there's also a layer of complexity to it that is almost deceiving at first look. That it's so much more than a card game.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that you sent us actual gold to play with. I'm kidding. But like,
we got one more stretch goal to go to get the actual gold into the thing, but I think we'll get there based on where we're at so
30
far.
days left. I'm pretty sure that everybody's going to get some of this gold, but I have it, and that's all I care about.
So
awesome.
So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter. The link is going on in chat if you guys want to click on the link to take a look at it. There is two versions of the game you can get. You get the standard version, which has basic wooden cubes to represent the gold. I believe that is $16 plus shipping. And then you have the deluxe version, which we are going to play a demo version of it. So it's not exactly like you're going to get, but very, very close. But that one actually has the little metal cubes that are not actual gold. I was joking. Don't want people to be like, Jeff, you just sent me real gold. But
We're
it
shipping
has
currency.
It has little metal cubes that look just like little gold. What are those called?
Ingots.
Ingots. Thank you.
They are very satisfying to hold.
So, let's get into the game itself. So, what is kintsugi?
So kintsugi is the Japanese art form of repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. And most people have seen this floating around just kind of in the world and in the water. You've seen pictures of it. You may have seen actual kintsugi repaired objects because they have this very striking and singular, like a spider web of gold sort of through the pottery. And the philosophy behind this is very attractive. It suggests that the things that you buy are fine as you get them. You can buy a tea jar and it will contain tea, and that is what you bought it for, so that's delightful. But something that has been broken and then repaired using this method that highlights those flaws turns that into a unique thing and a unique work of art. So the person who made that repair has kind of invested it with an intention that makes it distinct from all other things in the world, and according to that sort of philosophy, superior to them, because you have the one object, or this is the one object that has been that has this particular story of how it was broken and how it was put back together and who has it and what it's used for.
So how, I know that you helped produce this game and develop the game a little bit. So how did that, what was the thought process, or how did that come about with the mechanic of a set collector where you break pottery and then repair it?
I'm also
Sure.
interested in how we got from the band game to this game.
That's because I have a sick mind and am interested in all kinds of things.
You're in good company.
I actually don't necessarily have all the pieces to the design itself. The game designer of this game is named Patrick Rowland. He's actually the host of a podcast about indie game design. So if people are interested in that topic, definitely go. I think that it is literally called the Indie Game Design Podcast. I should be better informed on that. But you can find Patrick Rowland, Rauland, online and track him down if you're interested in that. So he created this design, and I was looking at some of the interview footage that we did with him when we were preparing. Apparently the first design of this was actually an 18-card game that had many of the same pieces of pottery, but he expanded it to be a full deck. Like the current game's got 56 cards, I think, and he expanded it to that point for a Game Crafter contest. Actually, they did the Mint Tin Challenge was what they called it, because they have a Mint Tin component that you can use as packaging for your games. They did a contest for people to submit game designs that fit inside that tin. So he expanded it out, added the resource tokens, and then that was apparently kind of the thing that got the design to more or less its current state. There was some more development after that, but the first time I saw it was at Protospiel in Madison, when I kind of put out the call for game designs as I was spinning Left Justified Studio up and looking for designs. He and I played that together, and honestly, I did not get how good this game was the first time I played it. I played it with him once, maybe twice. I was very bad at it. But I took a copy of it home and played it with, especially with Travis Winter, who's the sales manager and warehouse guy at Atlas Games where I was working at the time. And Travis has extremely good taste and has played lots and lots of different games. He's a phenomenal miniatures painter and Warhammer guy. But anyway, like, he kept asking me, well, when are we going to play that again? And that is something that is always, to my experience, a phenomenal sign about a game design, is if otherwise disinterested people keep asking you to play it, you should publish that game. So I played it more with all the people who were around, and eventually went back to Patrick and said, yeah, I would, let's do this thing. What would it take to make this happen? So when we were talking before about that melding of theme and mechanics in Broken and Beautiful, I have to confess that I did not see it as early as you all did when you played it with me at PAX U. So you are ahead of me by a little bit in terms of games appreciation, but we did get there eventually. And so what you see is kind of the I get not the end of the story, because we're still in the process of getting it made, but that's where we're at right now.
I mean, I think it's a good jumping off point though, because if you're looking at a game solely based on, do the people I trust want to play it, that seems like a profitable starting spot for me, because you're not limiting yourself. And you're also, there's no ego involved in that either, because, like you said, maybe you didn't enjoy it the first time, but you were able to recognize when somebody who you trusted, and that makes me excited for what you send us to play next, because now I trust you. So
Right on. Awesome. Thank you. I mean, so Bander Album is actually kind of a counter example to Broken and Beautiful as far as that goes. Bander Album is, just briefly for folks who are watching it and haven't gotten the pitch on this before, this is a social game that you play in the midst of other games or conversation. The only component to it is a metal coin that has a band side and an album side. I probably have some of them around here somewhere.
See the derpy owl in the background, Megan?
Yes.
do you see the derpy little octopus Cthulhu thing back there? Because I do.
What do we got? Oh, this guy here.
Yeah. Look at him.
This is a John Kovalik created vinyl thing. My brother tracked this down online, and he actually got John to sign the back of it the year he gave this to me for Christmas. This is I love this thing. And the little people that he eat come out of his hands there. He comes with 6 different victims. So this is a Bander album coin. It has got a band side. It has got an album side. So the idea is that we are just going around in conversation. We're talking about things, and the conventions of band names and the conventions of album names are so like present in the culture that everybody can pretty much recognize which is which, and that there's always a correct example, a correct answer for any given word or phrase. Is that more appropriately the name of the band or the name of an album? Now, I think that this entire concept is completely amazing and hilarious. When I first heard this at the last Gen Con SoCal from Ken Hite, who was kind of the person who invented the idea of this as a playable game, it blew my mind, and I was like, we got to figure out how to publish that. And it was not at all clear that that was even a conceivable thing to do, because this was like 2005 or 2006. This was before Kickstarter. This was before digital publishing. So the only way to publish a game was to make 3,000 of them with money that you had in your checking account, and then like just try to find stores to stock it, which totally would not have worked with this particular game, which is why I like sat around in like Word files on my computer and in discussions with people for like 7 or 8 years before we figured out how to send it to Kickstarter and work with campaign coins to get the thing made. And even still then, through all of my like personal amusement with that idea, it doesn't connect with lots of people. Some people think it's hilarious and they get it and they want to carry around one of these coins and like use that as a signature piece of amusement in their social interactions. But most people are like, yeah, whatever. And so that the original Bander album and the remix edition were both successful enough on Kickstarter that like I could make them, but not enough to like do anything commercially successful. So I mean, that to a certain extent, that's the pure version of what Kickstarter even is it allows these ridiculous labor of love projects to manifest in the world. But Bander Album is definitely not a game where people kept being like, Jeff, when is this coming out? It was more like I was the guy who was like, yeah, we got to do this. And that is maybe a lesson for me, is that if I'm the guy who's always going around, hey, let's make Bander Album, and everybody's like, maybe we could have a beer. then maybe that's not a game that I should put so much effort and time into. So I don't know. It's a useful heuristic, I guess, figuring out what people think, and if people keep asking you. But if they don't, then maybe. Yeah.
He says he's gonna send us some copies. I think it'd be fun for us to play during the middle of the game, like a game
Oh,
when
yeah.
you say something.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's, I mean, I think the thing is that I think Broken and Beautiful, obviously it funded in 24 hours, but I think people can really get behind the idea of kintsugi because that's just awesome, but also this game is really nice, and it's very simple in that it's just cards and gold. But I think that you could push Bander Album on people by making it an add-on to Broken and Beautiful and be like, hey man, why don't you try this one out too? Then it's there.
For sure. I mean, right, it'll be there in the pledge manager.
Yeah.
people will pick it up there. And like I was saying before about having a catalog of games, like when I go to a game store and I'm like, you should stock Broken and Beautiful, and then they agree to do it, and then I'm like, but would you also like to stock, well, you're paying for shipping anyway, or in order to get you up to the free shipping threshold, why don't you add on 3 copies of each of these? So it really is the kind of thing that will be more widely exposed and be more successful over time just because it's part of a growing catalog of stuff.
Excellent.
So let's talk a little bit about the actual gameplay and kind of how the game plays.
I want to know what the movie is behind you.
On the
In the film,
Yeah.
Big Lebowski.
Ah, okay. I've been trying to. It's not that I would be able to figure out. I just
never would've
knew
got
that
there.
it was a movie. I just needed to know. Okay, we can continue.
I'm surrounded by Lebowski Fest posters here in my like nook back here in the back. There's a Lebowski Fest puts on events around the country, or at least they did prior to the pandemic, where everybody goes and drinks White Russians and wears bathrobes and goes bowling. So they do a separate poster for every one of those events. So like you can kind of see one of them here. Maybe I can't point to it. This one is a cowboy eating a bear eating a cowboy, which was the New York Lebowski Fest in 2013. So I've got a bunch of other ones floating around here.
All right, now we can
All
talk
right,
about the
Steven,
game.
go ahead, do your thing.
Well, no, so do you want to explain the basic terms of the game or how the game works? And then once we say goodbye to you, we'll obviously show people how it works. Hopefully we play it correctly. We're notorious for getting at least one rule incorrect.
Yep.
So just
That's
throw it
how it
out there.
goes.
If you're hanging out in chat afterwards,
Notorious.
feel free to yell at us if we get it wrong.
When we were meeting with Jeff, we were waiting to meet with Jeff to play this game. We were standing there at the table. Megan was trying. I think Steven and I were trying to figure out how to play before Jeff walked up to us, and Megan was like, "No, you're just gonna get it wrong," and she was 100% right. So do not leave us to our own devices because we will get this wrong.
Sure. So just kind of looking for a light rule summary, sort of.
Sure. Give us like if somebody was walking up to a booth, how would you describe the game to them and how a basic round of play works?
Sure. So, like the first part of the pitch, we've kind of already covered that this is a game about kintsugi, and that is a art form and a philosophy where things get more valuable when they are broken and repaired. So the next thing to know is that there are 9 different kinds of cards in Broken and Beautiful. 7 of them are pottery, and then there are 2 other wood items. And every one of those cards has, is that gonna show if I do that?
Yep.
Every one of these cards has a item of pottery, and it's got some icons that sort of say more about what that is. So like this has a color pattern on it. It's got a value in ingots, but then it's got a score on there. So this is the very basic building block of Broken and Beautiful. This is a cup. There are 9 cups in the deck, so this is the most common thing. So this is worth 1 point as you draft it. Now, there are certain mechanics in gameplay that will break items. So for example, all cups in play could be broken. So then if you've got one of these and you flip it sideways because it's broken, now it is not worth that 1 point. And furthermore, it doesn't even exist in gameplay. So for example, saucers are another kind of pottery. What a saucer does is that it multiplies the value of some cup by 2, but if your cup is broken, your saucer is not doing anything at all. But then the next thing to know is that there are ways that you can repair broken pottery. So if you've got this one broken, when you repair it, you flip it over to this side that shows that golden repair pattern. And now it is worth 3 points instead of 1 point, and it can't break again. And so that is the basic mechanic, is drafting items into your collection. Sometimes they become broken, but if they do, you can repair them and they will be worth more points than they were before. But you really have to manage that breakage. You can almost make it an offensive part of your gameplay, because if you manage to engineer circumstances so that other people's valuable collection components break, then they are deprived of those points. And if you can make it so that they don't have enough gold to repair them, they're really going to be stuck in that situation. So there are really interesting strategic options around this mechanic of breakage that don't exist in lots of other set collection games. So then after that, it's just a question of how do the different kinds of pottery score. So that's something that I usually teach kind of as it goes. But, you saw cups, they're worth 1 or then 3. Saucers multiply the value of a cup either by 2 or by 3, depending on whether they are unbroken or repaired. Bowls are an interesting example. Each bowl that you have is worth a number of points equal to the total number of bowls that you have. So if you've got 1, it's worth 1. If you've got 6, it's worth 36. So that produces a really interesting circumstance in a drafting game where you can't let any one player control too many bowls or they're going to totally get away from you. But on the other hand, especially if you're in a multiplayer game, say you're in a 4-player game, if you don't want to take those bowls because that's not what you're doing, but the 4th player needs to be prevented from getting it, you can kind of push the work of hate drafting that onto the 2nd and 3rd players before it comes around. So then they can get back at you by just not taking it and then letting that 4th player get it, but then everybody is in hell because that player's going to win. So
But
especially at the
trying
3 and 4 player
psychologically
games,
manage you, and that's not okay.
Derek hates when I do that.
that's one of the most interesting kind of emergent gameplay elements of this is that who's going to stop that person from getting the thing that we all know they can't have. But the other thing the other thing is the way that the game determines what's going to break. So imagine that the 4 of us are playing together. Each drafting pool is going to be 9 cards. It's always 2 per player plus 1. So we're going to snake draft. We each draft 2 cards. At the end of that, obviously, there's going to be 1 left. And then, since these cards are double-sided, there's always 1 card that you can see on the top of the deck. So the breakage is whatever card is undrafted and whatever is at the top of the deck, those are the types of pottery that break. So say there's a plate left behind and there's a cup at the top of the deck. All of the plates and all of the cups in play break at that moment. So what that means is that the players collectively are going to manage half of the breakage because it's what we leave behind. So sometimes it will be to your benefit to not draft something, even though you might kind of like it, because not drafting it is going to cause somebody else's valuable stuff to break and hurt them. Or sometimes you will even want to leave something behind so it will break your stuff because you want to be able to repair it, because when you do, it's going to be worth even more points. So there's a lot of very subtle drafting strategy in this game, which again, I totally did not appreciate the first 2 times I played it. I was like, that's a fine mechanic, whatever. And then it is Travis who saw that and turned me around on it. So, my apologies to Patrick that I did not get his game faster, but we did get there eventually.
And now, fully funded on Kickstarter. Suck it,
That's
old
right,
Jeff.
yep.
Pass Jeff.
That's right.
Cool. I think I did have one question as I was thinking about the rules and things. I know that if a gold is left on the thing, everyone gets to repair 1 for free. If gold is left out there. Now, can you repair either a 1 or a 2 value with that?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it's that your first repair action is free. So that does mean that if you spend gold to get a second repair action, that second one is going to be at the additional +1 cost. So usually you're going to want to use your free one on the more expensive item if you've got multiple things lined up to repair.
Okay. Do you guys have any more questions for Jeff?
Question.
What's your favorite class in D&D? You started the whole thing with saying that you love D&D, and I'm just interested.
I am kind of a appreciator of bog standard stuff. If left to my own options, I would play like a human fighter or a human thief, just completely normal stuff, and attempt to distinguish them by weird personalities or strange motivations or things like that. I'm a person who finds elves profoundly boring. Tolkien elves is a yawn and a half as far as I am concerned. That is I won't go too far down that road, but give me a human fighter.
I mean, I try to do the same thing, but I love warlocks. So just a bland person, super scary warlock. That's how I...
Have you
Right
played a warlock, though? In all the games we played, I don't have ever seen you play a warlock.
I played 3 different warlocks. I was literally a warlock when we were drunk.
Were you?
Yeah.
I don't think you remember that you were Lorelai when you were
whatever.
drunk.
I was.
We did a part of a charity stream, reward for a charity stream that we did. We did what we called DD&D. So I don't drink, and so I, as the sober DM, took a party of 4 people who decided to. They were all over 21, and they all were imbibing the whole time, and so things obviously go a little bit off the rails when you have people that are slightly drunk.
That seems great.
Anyways,
I'm in for the next one of those.
Anyways, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us again, you guys. It's Broken and Beautiful. It's from Left Justified. Check it out. You know how much we love, smaller board game publishers, and as far as like
promoting Kickstarters.
Yeah, like this one at this point, you guys are just pre-ordering it, but help push it far beyond that, because while this will get this game published, if they can go much beyond this, it makes them being able to publish other games in the future much simpler on them, and it helps them out immensely. If you cannot, for some reason, financially back it, if $16 is not in the budget, we completely understand that. But the link for the Kickstarter is going past. Share the Kickstarter. Talk about it on social media. Make sure that you're tagging Left Justified and also using the hashtag Broken Beautiful as well, just to get the word out there. Because the good news is with the founding in 24 hours, at this point, you're more or less like, obviously there's always extreme circumstances that could possibly happen, but as generally speaking, right now, you're just pre-ordering a game. So,
plus, it's expensive to make games right now, and the more money, the more games. And honestly, the better you are, because we still have... You're not getting these yet. But
you can if you pay the extra money.
I should mention that if you're not in a financial position to be able to back it, or if you want to play it right literally at this minute, by which I mean after the stream is over, because your time is booked until the stream is over.
Yes.
But this game is digitally implemented on Sovereignty today, which is a rules-mediated digital platform. It's SOVRANTI. It takes a client download. But it's available on iOS, Android, macOS, and Windows. So you can go over and play that right now. Find at least one other person to jump on with you, and you can try it before you back it if you are so inclined.
And I believe, because I believe right now I think you posted something where if you use the code Left Justified, you get 30 days or 60 days free of...
Yep. That's of all the content on the site, I believe, is the deal that they are offering. So they have Forbidden Desert up there, Point Salad is up there, Planet Unknown is up there. They have a lot of games that are otherwise... Their model is like a Netflix model, so you pay by the month, but then you get access to their entire library of games. But if you use that Left Justified code, I believe that the deal is you can play anything on the platform through either for 60 days or through to the end of May. I think that interacts with a deal that they've got. I think that Broken and Beautiful is free to play for everyone through the end of May. So you might be, if you don't use that code, you might be locked out of some of their other titles. But you will not find any difficulty in giving Broken and Beautiful a try there. And signing up for the platform may get you the chance to play some other stuff on there as well.
And G just put it in the chat. So follow that link to play the game right now. But generally, we talk about Kickstarters a lot. But there are a few that I personally go, this is one you need to back. Mm-hmm. If you want a simple, beautiful game that is one that you can teach to people quickly, but it's simple to learn, but complex to master, I think is the best way to kind of describe how I feel about it. Because there is so much intricacy of how things can interact with each other, and your strategy can evolve over time. I think it is a fantastic, smaller box game when it comes to just the beautiful simplicity of the game.
Well, and Jeff talked about it a little bit earlier. When we left Philadelphia, we played so many games at PAX Unplugged. This was one of the ones that I talked about when we were coming home that stood out to me simply because it took that set collection and then, multiplied it. Not that, that's what happens in the game, but like it made it better, the difference that those extra mechanics made kept this one at the top of my list from stuff that we did at Unplugged. So,
Quaid, I believe it is just Left Justified, all one word, is the code for the deal on for the free 60 days. Sovereignty thing.
I think so too, but that is on the Kickstarter page. If you go to the Sovereignty section of the Kickstarter page, that code is in the text there, so you can double check that if it's not working for you.
Anyways, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. We're actually going to turn around and now play
Play
a
the
couple
game.
rounds and see how badly we can mess up the rules. Hopefully, we won't. But again, thank you so much for taking time out of your time to visit with us. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you at Gen Con. I guess will probably be the next time we're going to see a chance to see you because he's choosing Mexico over going to Origins.
Yeah.
Probably,
I'd do that too.
I think I would make that same. I'd make that same choice.
Thank you so much, folks. I really appreciate all the kind words, and thanks for playing it on your stream.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Have a good time, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, hold on.
That's our screen.
Ooh.
I'm very, very thirsty.
There. Boom. Okay. Hi, chat. I know a bunch of people have snuck in here during the middle of this.
Avocado Robot, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, Avocado Road, you're still out there.
I don't
Thank
know
you
if
for
you're
the follow.
still here or not, but thank you.
Dennis Quaid, hello, friend. Hello, Arliel. So, we're going to play through this, and we'll try to lift up some of the cards and show you as we play. Again, we have a preview copy.
Yes.
So ours is going to be a little bit different than what you guys get. Unless you get the deluxe version, because I believe it has these...
Yes, it does.
These nice gold metal things.
Hey, Velvet Otter.
Hey, Vodar.
Yeah, these are quite satisfying to hold.
They're very heavy.
They are, and that's why they're so satisfying. Like, I don't know. I like components. And everything in this game is so pretty.
Yes. So I know Jeff showed them on screen, but like, so there is an unbroken version, and then there's a repaired version, so you can see the gold of it.
I like this one. We are doing well.
Okay. That's me. What?
Alright. I don't remember how to play.
Okay, so what we need to do, there's actually not rules in there because of the fact that it's a preview copy. I have the rules pulled up on my phone. Give me a
Excellent.
second.
Shuffle these.
Hmm?
Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Yeah,
Shuffle,
shuffle those, and then you need to pad them with the brown side out. Sorry, the gray side out.
The not broken side.
Yes. And then you need to put out 7 because it's 2 plus 1
Okay.
What? 2 for each player.
plus 1 plus 1.
Derek got his
Oculus.
Oculus yesterday.
Oh my god. It's so much fun.
I made play the climbing one. I didn't like it. Well, I mean, it's fine as long as I don't like.
Look down.
Yeah. I really like Beat Saber, like a whole lot. Even though I'm okay at it.
The only reason you failed was because you went straight to like the professional difficulty.
I said, I've done a few normal. Let's go to expert. Because that's who I am as a person.
Okay. So.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do 3 and 2, or 3 and 4, just so it's easy for us to actually. Let me see.
And Megan really wants me to play a scary game,
Really want.
and she apparently wants everybody to see it.
I do.
So, like May or June or something, maybe we get that on the stream or something.
Yeah. Hey, no, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Velvet Otter. We appreciate you. All right. Can a mod please put exclamation point random in the chat? Could not remember what it was. The air conditioning, the AC is blowing directly on my foot.
I will turn it off.
I mean, you don't
It
need
was
to turn it
no,
off.
it was just it was super hot in here earlier.
Okay, Steven, you're going first.
Okay.
This is on Kickstarter. Glitch Squad from Resident is on Kickstarter. It's a pretty good party game. It's a little under 50% funded, so go check that one out as well. And then also, if you're into it, Old Gods of Appalachia. I'm super excited for it. I think everybody should be excited for it, but go check that one out as well, because it's great. Plus, they busted through all of their stretch goals, and all of their stretch goals were really good, so there's a lot of extra stuff that you're getting with that now. So, lots of good Kickstarters. Plus, there's stuff coming in the coming months, one of which I'm super excited that I was able to snag onto that we're all going to benefit from, so it's going to be pretty good.
You got the mini golf, didn't you?
Walkabout Mini Golf was so fun. I played it for so long and was fully invested the whole time.
Derek made the mistake of, oh, there's a water feature. And I happened to have the spray bottle in my hand. So immediately, it was great.
He's like, it's so immersive.
It did scare him. It was very funny.
Steven,
Velvet Otter, we are drinking
oh my god, it's so good. Apricot and cucumber.
an apricot cucumber sour. Well, it's an
so good.
Is it sour or is it a goza?
So what I'm doing
Sour.
is
Sour.
I am texting both of you guys the link to
Excellent.
the rules, which has the breakdown of how things score.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. So here's the thing. The only disappointing thing to me about the Oculus was that I had to link it to my Facebook. I haven't used Facebook in years, like 5 or 6 years. So it was like, do you want to share all your stuff with all your people? And I was like, fuck no. I don't talk to any of these people anymore. But yes, once I figure out how to do that, here, the rules.
But yeah, we'll probably be playing that. The only thing that I want to do is play it with my contacts in versus my glasses, because it gave me a little bit of a headache last night.
Well, that's the thing. I put the glasses, the
Which
glass
they
separator in there,
fit.
but my glasses are too big, so it pushes down on them.
Oh, see, mine fit in there, and it was fine. So I could do it, it just...
We can take the table out of a room for day and scoot everything back and make sure that people aren't going to die.
Yeah. What are you taking?
I think I'm just gonna grab this gold.
So that just turns into a gold. Oh,
So saucers are going to break,
yes.
for sure.
There's none out there.
There's none out there. I love Mist so much.
I'm gonna have this canopic jar.
Oh, I'm going.
Lynx, you're making it really hard for me to play.
Take the plate.
Speaking of canopic jars, if you aren't watching Moon Knight, fucking why? Because the episode today is the best Disney Plus MCU show. Like, it's the best episode of a Marvel show so far. I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I loved Loki. WandaVision was okay. This was the best.
Alright, so we're at the end of the first round.
Okay.
And so the things that are going to break are going to be
Cups
cups
and saucers.
which there's actually none
None
out.
of us have.
So those things both go away.
This goes away as well?
Yep. Yeah, both those things go away. Yes. And then we do 7 more. And the game ends.
It just keeps going. We don't have...
Yeah.
Okay,
The
I
game
understand.
ends when
Oh, God, dear.
What?
So...
I can't read them.
Well, then why did you do it?
My hand was over
so
there.
saucers are going to break again.
Saucers for sure. Do you
Nope.
stay first?
This rotates.
Okay.
So, Derek, you're now first player.
Excellent. I'm gonna have this jar.
Wait, did we snake the last round?
I don't
does
know
that
what that means.
Means it goes like Catan when you first start.
No, we sure
no,
didn't.
We did not do that.
Okay. We're supposed to be snaking.
Okay.
You get points based on sets too, don't you?
Well, it depends. So, like this, if you grab that, 2 together is worth 6.
No, she means colors.
Colors.
Like the.
I don't,
There's a set. Well, there has to be a set collecting.
I don't know if there is.
Velvet Otter.
It's not in the scoring.
As a Disney person, I think Disney Plus is great. I was one of the beta people for Disney Plus. But I think the general audience, like now that it's been out for 3 years or whatever, the general audience, there's so much stuff on there that you just haven't had access to for such a long time. I watched 3 Men and a Baby last week, and as soon as it was over, it was like, you might want to watch 3 Men and a Little Lady, and I was like, you're fucking right, I do, because it's so good. And then today I find out that they're remaking it, and I'm upset because you don't need to.
Teapots. The teapots score based on the matching patterns. Okay, that's what I thought.
Hi, Jeff.
I knew there was something that matched based on the patterns because there would not be a point of patterns beyond that. And he has told this story for the last week to anybody who will listen.
I will get 3 Men and a Baby back into the zeitgeist. It's so good.
Okay. In that case,
For some reason, you're talking about that movie, but the movie that came to my mind is Look Who's Talking.
Oh, that is.
It's around the same time period. It's about a baby that is, like, you just hear the internal thoughts of a baby, and I think it's voiced by Michael J. Fox. I could be wrong.
That sounds awful. That sounds dumb.
You don't want that one.
you want this one. I almost put it back. So I was like, why? Ooh, spring sale, D&D Beyond. Hey.
I'm gonna take this.
I'm so excited for the D&D Direct.
And
Because
I'm
I don't know
going
what is
to
going to
take
happen.
this.
So cups are definitely going to break. Whatever you take is going to break.
Okay. It's okay. I can fix it. I like.
Wait. Remaking.
They're remaking 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, cups and saucers break. So your saucer's
My
gonna
saucer
break.
breaks.
And Derek, your cup breaks.
But I'm...
But you guys both have gold,
Right.
We fix.
so you can fix.
Yes, I am going to fix my saucer. Alright, so this goes away.
I already moved that. Both of those things broke. I already moved it.
Oh.
It was a dark saucer.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, this.
Oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong place.
Things need to go to the discard pile.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Right, saucers are gonna break again.
Well, yours is already fixed, so you're good.
Oh, and I'm the first player. Excellent. Excellent. I'm taking this. Go with this? You have to?
Take this. Derek, you get to take 2.
Excellent. I will take. What do the wood things do? This is just
Well, this
2
is
points.
just 2 points, and you can't repair
Was Travolta the
it.
was Travolta the voice of the
It's
kid? I
Bruce
couldn't remember.
Willis.
And then this one is not wood. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, that can't be broken.
1 per gold.
And you put it to 4 gold in it at the end.
There you go.
The tea plate doesn't have to match my cup, right?
Nope. You just pair them up.
I don't like it, but I want the gold.
Now, don't cover it up because it's gonna break you. It's going to be broken here in just a second. Now you can go again. Now remember, an option that you do have is you can take something and get the gold for it versus actually collecting the actual item.
I forget that that's an option.
Yes.
I probably would have done that in the first round. Oh well.
I'll grab this and get gold for it.
You're mean. I guess I will take this.
No, wait, my turn.
Oh,
You first.
shoot.
Okay, you grab all three of the things.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna get the.
I really did.
I'm gonna get the gold for that.
Alright, is it just the one gold? Whatever here?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. And I'm gonna.
Okay. So the only thing that breaks is saucers.
Saucers. Nobody has any.
Derek does.
Oh, Derek has
But
a
she
saucer.
fixed.
So that goes away.
Mhm.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, these movies sound
Sure.
awful. I don't know why we're talking about it.
I think I have Look Who's Talking.
It's not nearly as good. No, it doesn't matter if I've seen it or not. It's not nearly as good as 3 Men and a Baby.
Derek? Right now, cups are breaking. Bow show. This only comes up to 1 cup, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then 8. So I'm actually going to take this plate and get the gold.
Here. And I'll have to pick your second one.
How many of that color?
Yep.
What are you gonna
Yup.
do?
I'm gonna take this cup.
Alright, so cups, trays,
Cups break. I'm gonna fix it.
break. I am gonna fix my cup.
Okay, that cup goes away.
Cup. Oh, teapot.
Oh,
This
Derek
is
wants
Derek.
that
Yeah,
teapot.
Derek wants that teapot.
Because
Alright.
No, not gonna tell you.
Vases. 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 Are gonna break for sure this round.
Those are urns.
Oh, urns. Teas. Tea containers. These are the vases.
Okay, Megan.
talk to me about the bowl.
What is it about the bowls?
They're worth the number you have. If you have 1, it's 1. If you have 2, it's 2 times 2 is 4.
Oh. Thickable.
Would you have the bowls?
Mm-hmm.
Glad I. I'm gonna have this tray.
My turn.
Yeah.
Steven does 2, and then it's next back to me, right?
No, it goes back to her. You were first player.
You were the first player. Oh, that's what I want. Thanks.
Interesting. Is there anything on my home screen that I don't want people to see?
Cups are breaking.
They're already broken.
Broken. Derek's is already broken.
Bases break.
No, whatever this is. These. Those break for you. Oh!
That's unfortunate.
Ouch.
Did I know that ahead of time?
Yes.
If I just missed all the gold things,
They all came out at the beginning. Oh, actually, I think the game ends because we can't refill.
No. I wanted that. Oh, baskets.
you can no longer deal enough cards for a draft. When that happens, the player's total value is
Yeah, okay, well. Shoot!
Yeah, that fucking sucks ass.
Quick game.
Quick game, quick game.
All right.
Great. We need paper, maybe? Or are we gonna do this
I got paper. Okay,
without? Okay.
I got paper. So, Steven, Megan, Derek, you want to read just down the line and we can just score each thing as it happens?
Yeah.
So, broken things do not score. So, we can just, Derek, we can just get rid of our vases. They don't score at all.
Your urns.
Urns, sorry.
Okay. The first thing are cups.
Cups. I have 3.
You get a score for the cup, as well as the score for the saucer.
I believe you have them together. It's just a set.
Yeah, I mean, it just, the saucer multiplies the score of the cup.
Yeah,
the
because
saucer's no score.
The saucers don't score by themselves.
Okay, so 9.
Okay, Derek.
I
You
also
also
got 9.
Okay. Next.
Plates.
They only score in pairs. I do not have a pair. You guys both have a
I
pair
have
of
a pair.
them. Okay, so you guys both score 6.
Bowls.
Bowls. You
I have 1.
So that's 1 point to you. I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. so
16.
16. So that's like all my points.
Tea jars, which is what broke in the last round.
Oh, tea jars. So nobody scores any points on that.
Teapots. I have 1.
Okay, and that scores 1 point.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 points.
4 points for Megan.
Yeah, because that's a double.
I also get 4.
Also gets
Okay. Yes.
serving trays and storage boxes.
No,
Oh,
we-
vases. I missed the vases. I have a 1.
I have a
oh,
1 as
wait,
well.
nope, that's not me. This is me. I have a 1.
I have 1 as well. So we each get 1 more point. And neither one. Nobody took storage boxes.
Nobody
or
took
serving
storage
trays.
boxes or serving trays.
So I lost bad.
You had that was a bad run there at the end.
Yeah.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
But I only would have got 6 more points.
Mm-hmm.
You did not lose nearly as badly as you thought. Hold on.
Steven got 16 and Megan got 2 extra scoring things than I did. I definitely lost.
Derek and I were neck
Okay.
and neck for a little while.
So, in third place is Derek with 19 points.
Yeah, Megan got 21 and Steven got 23.
No, I got 20.
Oh.
In second place is me with 20, and in first place is Megan with 21.
and I had gold left over.
Does gold get anything at the end?
Nope.
So
I was just
Megan-
making a point
so
that I had
That
gold left
first round
over.
was actually all within 2 points. 19 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
So Megan wins. Broken and Beautiful. It's quick. It's easy. It's more. It's more. You gotta plan things out more than you think for a card game.
240. How many am I behind you now?
22, I think.
I'm gonna make time up tonight. There was a time when I was in the lead. And hope was high and life worth living.
I don't like this. Sounds like it's like dialing a phone.
Hello? The Spring Dyson book sale starts in 3 hours.
dream in time gone by. My hope was high, life was living. Thank you for taking that pause with me. Alright, so for sure bowls are breaking. I am first person because I won. What do I want? I think one of my favorite generational things is the call me thing, because all of us still do this, and kids today usually do this because that's what the phones look like, or here. They don't do this anymore.
Yeah, or you tell people to hang up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Tell people to hang up the phone, and they're like this.
They do this, and most of us will do that.
Raise your hand if you don't do a phone motion when you're talking to people.
You ask people. Megan, you were first. You won.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking bowls are gonna break.
I'm just gonna show this beautiful art again.
I know, it's so pretty.
Love, come here.
I'm gonna take this plate. Why? I don't know. I feel like your strategy starts in this one. This first round, you figure out what the heck you're doing for the rest of the game.
Well, I'm doing this. I'm gonna go.
I got 2 new books today. Very excited. One of them is smut.
Sex book.
But it is about Hades and Persephone. It is not Neon Gods. It is the other
actually,
one.
I'm going to turn this in.
Because Neon Gods did not sound entertaining to me.
Nope.
Hey,
Megan.
hey, hey,
Oh, sorry.
hey, hey!
The thing about Neon Gods is that I think it's good for a TV show or a movie.
I'm going to go ahead and prepare mine.
It's a bit. I think you need the visuals for Neon Gods.
I don't know. Can you look on like your Books a Million account and see what the names of the books I got are?
It only keeps track of your own purchases.
One of them is a new. Oh my god! This house. Sorry, distraction. This house on Virginia Street is for sale. I got to look at it today.
History?
Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about? Oh, it's so pretty. Used to be a business. So I don't know if anybody else's Books a Million has, because that's the only. I've also kind of decided that now I want to open a bookstore. Because the only option we have for books is either Books a Million or Taylor Books, and I love Taylor Books a whole lot, but I don't buy books from there because they don't have the type of books that I read.
Yeah, but the problem is neither does anybody else. Nobody else around here buys books from them either. The only reason to buy books from Taylor Books is because they have
a used book section.
Their
in the
used
back.
book section.
And they also have a lot of West Virginia based books.
Right. So opening your own bookstore, people still aren't going to use it.
Well, if I have books that people want, like young adult sections and things like that, because I read a lot of young adult.
Yeah. And business.
Books a Million stays.
You get to use 2 again.
Yes, I do. What's breaking?
Saucers
are breaking. Saucers. So, ooh, that's a good plan, Megan. So I'm going to take this one, and then I'm going to take this, but I'm going to use it for gold. Alright, so I got really distracted. I don't know if y'all, your Books a Millions have book talk sections, but ours do, and it's really nice. Because it's just right there. And book talk. Ends with that. Get. Although I did almost get that one. Really good stuff about it. It's not Throne of Glass, although A Touch of Darkness is the first one I got. Touch of Darkness. And the second.
Oh, that was dumb, Derek.
So saucers.
Saucers.
So both of you guys' your saucers are broken.
Fixed.
New pieces.
Megan, are you fixing your saucer?
Yes, I am gonna fix my saucer. The other one is from a new. It's a new book, and I don't know what it is, but I have another one from Book Talk that I want to get, but no one around here sells it, so I'm gonna have to order it online. Make sure you know. And the other one. You bastard. You knew that's what I wanted. Hey, it's my turn.
What would you like?
I'm gonna take this box just out of. Ah! Yes! I am gonna do that, but I'm gonna take the gold.
Okay.
Alright, everything breaks of mine. Shit.
So would you like to repair?
I'm going to repair this guy.
Okay.
I'm looking for the other book that I got. Not Book Talk. It's not a Book Talk book. It's a new book. It is young.
Teapots are going to break along with
Oh, it's my turn.
something else.
This is probably.
Here, you get the second one.
Oh, you bitch.
I mean, you can literally just take any one of those and do. I'm gonna take this one.
I
here.
know, but he would have given us freaking.
Megan, would you like a cup or a cup? Which, by the way, is going to get broken.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna take it.
This gets broken. Teapots get broken.
Fix
Just
my
gonna
cup.
fix mine too.
I'm fixing things. It is.
One for free.
Well,
So
No,
it's-
I don't get one for free because nobody left the gold out
if
there.
gold is left out there, it's one for free.
Which
Oh,
is
I
why I called you a bastard. Because my plan was to get it for free, the first one. But then the next one is +1, isn't it?
Correct. So you can fix
Alright,
one this round.
So I'm
and
gonna
one
fix one this round. So. It's your turn to go first.
This is the last round, by the way. It's my turn.
Yeah. Tea jars are breaking. The book.
Sorry, I'm doing
Okay.
calculation.
And the new release.
Paige doesn't like you digging your nails into her skin.
Really don't, actually. I really don't.
Stop.
It's not a great feeling.
Did you take a shit and then come back in here? It smells like it.
He is a cat. That would indeed make sense.
Okay, Megan, take 2.
Okay, I get to take 2. Alright. Excellent. I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to take this one.
Now you know that one's not a plate, right?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I figured out that I'm only going to get 2 if I take these 2 together. So if I take this, I'm going to get 3 points.
Gotcha. Here.
Girl. Wouldn't make biscuits. Make my life. Oh, it's called the Blood Trials. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Blending fantasy and science fiction. Fast-paced, action-packed debut kicks off a duology of loyalty and rebellion, in which a young black woman must survive deadly trials in a racist and misogynistic society to become an elite warrior. I was very interested in it, and like reading the back of it sounded really good, so I bought it. I mean, it's the first book in a long time that has not been recommended to me that I found on my own and purchased. So we're gonna see what happens. But it sounded really good.
I think it's gonna be
Will do.
Take this.
Okay.
I didn't realize you spent that whole time while I was searching for a book.
It doesn't matter, it's gonna break anyways.
It's gonna break.
And teapots also break.
Yeah, tea
Jars.
Tea jars, not teapots. You really, it's the last round that gets you on those tea jars. Alright,
Fix one of them.
I'm spending 2 to fix this.
Alright. My turn.
I'm in the midst of the second Throne of Glass book, so
I'm gonna do two things. So first, with my 1, I'm gonna replayer this. I was set there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use these 2 to repair 1 as well. Okay, so scoring. What happens if people tie on the
Ooh, that's a good question.
teapots?
Jars.
All players share it.
Oh, you found it faster than I did. Excellent.
All right, so
Cups. All right, I have.
really close together.
You
for
did.
no
You put
reason.
them really close together. This is such a simply elegant game.
So teacups.
Teacups. Who wants to go?
I mean, I get 9.
Yeah,
I get 9.
No, you get 10
10,
because you have
yes.
an extra one.
I get 10 as well.
Next,
Plates. Oh, I have plates.
you get 6. No,
2 plus 6.
so 8.
So
total.
8 total. I'm not gonna win this time.
Just
I struggled a lot.
hold on. No,
Let's
it's
do
actually
per repaired
okay, so
plate.
10 more.
10 kids. Still not gonna win, but that helped me. Bowls.
I have 3.
So 9. You. Derek doesn't have any bowls. Tea jars. You both have the most, so you both get 7 points. Vases. Derek gets 5 points. Gets 2. Teapots. Anybody have a
Hold on,
teapot?
I put Jared's coin. Nobody has any teapots this time.
Serving trays. I have 1, so 2 points for me. And then a storage box. Nobody has a storage box.
I think it's close, but it's deal.
I did not. But I'm proud of the plays that I made, and that is all that matters.
All right. Tied for second place is Megan and Derek both with 22. And in first place is me with 25.
Don't leave me hanging.
For a second place
Yeah, because
tie?
we tied. You and I got. Neither of us came in last.
We
Well,
both
we
came in last.
Jeff, you're south. Don't ever put out a cooperative game or a game where players can tie. Derek will not like it.
Two totally different worldviews there. It is. I was just glad that I didn't come in third. I came in second.
Last. Same as third.
So, all of us got more points though that round than we did the first
We
round.
did, yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Also, you know what really sucks? Today I went out and about after I had to run to work real fast to pack up because we're leaving tomorrow to go for our retreat. But I went to Target specifically because I had a gift card. Okay? So I'm wandering around, I'm getting my things, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna spend X amount of money because that's what I have on my gift card, and then everything else I'll pay for over top of. So like the couple of gifts that I got you from Target didn't come off of my gift card. Except I took the gift cards out of the cards to put into my purse. But they did not make it into my purse. So I got all the way through checking out with thinking that I had a gift card. And then did not have a gift card at the register and was way too lazy to
Hey,
wait.
Morgan
So,
Bree.
you
How
know.
are you, friend?
Hi! But I did get good stuff today. Just means I have an extra $30 to spend later at Target.
Okay, so we played 2 rounds. Probably get 1 or 2 more rounds in. For everybody that's new out there,
Oh,
tonight...
and Steven won.
Yeah, I won. That didn't get put in there.
We've only played 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
So he's got 25.
Also, today is our puppy's birthday. His actual birthday, not his gotcha day. His birthday. Ooh, that means we get a free repair.
So you get 2.
This one for sure. Everybody's getting a free. That. Oof. Biscuit. For the biscuit. Alright. For any of you who don't know me very well, no! That is not the way that was supposed to work. It was supposed to break, and I was supposed to get a free repair, Steven.
Was it?
Yes!
Oh.
That's why I picked it!
Who said something?
Oh, fuck you!
Remember how Jeff was saying about how you can kind of influence what happens to other people's stuff?
Stop it! I wanted a free repair. It hadn't happened yet because we're all too selfish to leave that out there. Do you need a cup?
You need 7 cups. Check her.
Oh man, you couldn't leave me the one that at least matched.
No, of course I couldn't.
Cups are gonna break. Oh man! Shit. Oh, yours the same way. Bitch.
I fixed.
I fix.
Did we already take? Did that break already? Or
Yeah, that one broke.
oh, so I can break that too.
Yeah, that's why I said, bitch.
Megan.
Yes? Oh, it's me. Hello, it's me. Bowls will be breaking this time. Bye, Arleo. Enjoy your lurk. Lurk, lurk, lurk. You know, it's interesting because you take some of these and you want them to break so you can fix them.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's not guaranteed that they're going to break.
Correct.
Or you end up like Derek has for the last 2 rounds and it breaks on the last round and you can't fix them. Can I take that saucer? I'm not gonna take that saucer. I'm gonna take.
If you don't take it, he's sad that he's kettle.
It's true. Oh, you do have the. You have the kettle, you sneaky.
It was the
It's
first
not
thing he cooked.
sneaky.
Notice it.
It's
So
been sitting out the whole time.
I didn't notice it, so it's sneaky.
Take one.
Yes, that's the way the game works. You take one.
Your first player. Burns and bowls break.
Tea jar. Take.
I'm going to repair.
All your shit's broken.
I'm gonna repair this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bowls are breaking again. Break it down. Break it down. Break it.
Mine first. This is not working out in my favor.
I knew that was coming. Shit. Shit. Oh, wait, no, it's okay. Right? We are good. It's fine. So, I'm gonna take this one first. And then I'm going to put that and have this. Hey, Platt!
Hey, friend!
Eric. Steve. Okay. Cups break.
And bowls break.
Cups and bowls. Cups and bowls.
My bowl's already broken.
I'm going to fix my cup.
I'm going to fix my.
2. 4. Oh, boxes can't break. So we are deciding really what breaks this round.
Yep, and that's the last round again.
Yep. Derek is first.
Derek just won. 15 points right there.
Hang on. I'm gonna take this.
Take this.
My turn. but it's fine. Miss.
Hips break.
Dang it. It was a risk. It was a risk.
Repair this bowl.
Oh, I'm repairing this.
Okay.
It was a risk. It did not pay off. Folks, it didn't pay off.
I literally just wrote my initials as opposed to Derek's name. Okay. Cups. I get 3.
6.
12. 3, 6, 12.
I definitely came in last place. Next one.
Plates.
I get 6.
I just get anything. I don't get anything. Bowls.
I have 2, so that's
4.
4.
Okay. Tea jars. I have the most, so that is 6, 7 total. I did fix this one. Bongses. Derek has
Yep, 10.
freaking 15.
Get
Teapots.
any other points.
You did right here. Teapots. I have 3.
Oh, 3 for you. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Storage boxes and serving trays. Derek, or nobody has storage boxes. Derek has a serving tray.
2 points. 17. The total of 23.
Alright.
Enough to win.
In third place is me with 17. In second place is Megan with 22.
Oh.
No!
And in first place is Derek with 23.
Dang it!
Which means we've all won one game, which means we have to play one more game.
I needed you to let that. I didn't realize that you needed a saucer. I didn't think you needed a saucer. I was hoping you would let it go. Because I needed mine to break. Because I had enough gold to fix both of my saucers.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Again, if you are new out there, tonight we're playing Broken and Beautiful, which is on Kickstarter as we speak. It is from Left Justified Studio. It is a super simple yet beautifully complex card drafting, set collecting game
Hi, Time Roller.
based on Kintsugi.
Kintsugi. Kintsugi. I always want to drop the N.
It's spelled both ways.
You should check it out. It is on Kickstarter right now. There should be a link that is going through in chat. Actually, it just went by just not too long ago. You should definitely check it out.
We are on our 4th game of it.
Mhm.
Because this game is relatively fast.
15 minutes is what it says.
But this is a great game to. I think that this is a great game to introduce
Set collecting.
set collecting and a little bit more strategy to newer players. Because there's enough strategy here for seasoned board gamers to be interested in it. But I think it's a great way to get extra strategy put in for new gamers as well. Plus, they're pretty. Like pretty. Derek, you won, so you get to go first. Plates are for sure breaking, and we don't have any plates out there.
Mo. You take the money, I take the money.
Break my cup. See if I care. Gee, thank you so much for putting those links in there.
Yes, thank you. Oh, sweet girl. Why you cry? Oh, why you cry? Alright. So cups and plates break.
Megan, you are now first this round. I can see this be adding into our quick game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. I am first.
Hey, I didn't even see what I was playing with anyways, Kat.
Teapots are breaking, which really sucks that I started collecting that type of teapot.
You have one card.
But look, what came out. Okay, I am gonna try that for the teacher again.
Ooh, different strategy. Cups break again.
Mine. All right, cups are breaking again. Giving you our first. Look at that whole dragon set out there. Oh, you bitch.
If I didn't do that, Derek was going to pick that up without question. And I need the
Derek.
gold.
Oops. Got distracted. I was going to tell the chat that I'm a little manic today, and I just
I think they do.
1000% missed it.
Okay, Megan, you take two.
I do get to take two. Cups are already breaking. Steven. Box. Cup. Up. Interesting.
It's break.
Cups break.
I'm repairing line one.
Derek goes first. Plates are breaking this round. We have one more round after this.
And for some reason, the coloration on our camera is not picking up the actual true, like, coloration of these.
Saw that coming. Take a miss.
Act like a bitch, get treated like a bitch.
Stay up.
Use you. And actually no. Link, sweetie, you're making it really hard to play the game.
Going to take it, or are you going to take the gold? Yeah. Good girl. Good girl.
Nope, plate's broke.
Plate's broke.
Put it all in. Fix. All my things.
No. Wait, how many gold do you have?
4?
Okay. Well, it broke both of them.
I know.
You only have one of them that's broken over there. It broke both of your teapots.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, Megan, you are first.
Okay. Cool. Alright, cups are breaking again.
Oh wait, I'm fixing my cup. This is the last round.
Mm-hmm. Get your plate.
Oh, my turn, right?
No, it's my turn. Oh, yes, it's your turn.
Oh wait, I'm not taking this. I'm actually going to do this and get the gold.
That makes
Okay, so cups break. And we have cups. Plates
broken.
break.
No, those are
Saucers.
saucers.
And I'm turning in 3 to repair both of mine.
I did not do well. At all.
Alright. Where'd the pad go? Final round, final scoring.
None of us did well.
First.
Cups. 18 points for me. I did the same thing again. It's not SMH, it's SMD.
Shaking my head. 9 points.
Oh, yeah, he got 27. I only count one of the things.
9 points. Plates.
Derek gets 6 points.
Plus 2,
8.
so 8 points. Bowls.
I get 9 points. And Derek gets 6 points. 4.
4 points. Tea jars. Derek,
gets
7
7
points. Ballses. I get 5 points. Teapots. Nobody got a teapot. Serving trays. I get 2 points. And then each storage value equal the number of the ingots its owner has at the end of the game. So 3.
So if you had more than one of those, would it be just 1 times, or 2 times 3 at that point? So you were 6 points?
No, it's in the box.
No, it's in. Well, it's each storage box value equals the number of ingots its owner has at the end of the game with a maximum of 4 per storage box.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the
Multiple
box.
boxes can score the same ingot, so yes, it
Oh.
would be 6 points.
Tied for second place is Derek and Megan with 19, and Steven wins with 27.
Derek is correct.
So once again, Megan and Derek tie with 19.
The math is not hard in this game. The
And
game is not hard.
I win.
Trying to deal with other people and their predictions and whatever is bad.
I win with the highest score of the night with 27. Steven wins.
That is Broken and Beautiful, a game about kintsugi. It is
Funded on Kickstarter right now.
funded on Kickstarter, so basically you are just pre-ordering it. It is a beautiful game, clearly. There is a lot of strategy involved. It is not as simple as it appears, which I love games like that so much.
$16 on the Kickstarter plus whatever shipping is at the end. There's 30 days left, so you got plenty of time to decide whether or not you want to back it.
Yep.
It is pretty great. That's also plenty of time for stretch goals to happen. The cool thing about this Kickstarter is a lot of the stretch goals are actually community-based. It's about the amount of money that's raised, but it's also about the amount of backers and stuff like that. Shares on Facebook, I think, also contribute. So it's interesting the way that they're doing the stretch goals, but the stretch goals are happening nonetheless. So take a look at the Kickstarter page. You can back for just $1 to get access to the pledge manager later on if you don't think you have the money now, but you might later. So you're basically just bookmarking it with a dollar bill. But yeah, that's Broken and Beautiful from Left Justified Studios.
This is one of the games that we are most excited about after PAX. And I hope that you can see why and understand why we were so excited about it and why we talked about it so much.
And if you don't see why, it's because you haven't gotten your hands on these golden little ingots here.
And to be honest, $16 for this game, even with the basic wooden tokens, really is not that much.
No.
For the quality and strategy and everything behind it. So highly recommend. Great for new board gamers.
And let them know that you backed the game because of us.
Yes, let them know that we sent you.
Leave a comment on the Kickstarter page or...
Like, hey, saw you on BGH or Monkey Mouse.
Would appreciate it.
It's important for us. Yeah, so do that Kickstarter. Go check out the Resonant Kickstarter, Glitch God. We're playing that next Friday. And next Wednesday, we are playing Through Ice and Snow from Two Tomato Games. We're going to be playing it digitally because there is not a physical copy yet. I think there's like 2 physical copies, and they're both in Spain. So we're going to be playing digitally with one of the people from Two Tomatoes. Either one of the Two Tomatoes or Alex, they're a community person. But that's going to be very interesting. It's a very cool game that we're playing on Wednesday. Monday, we're doing our Chapter 3 of Charterstone.
Friday.
I don't know what's happening on Friday.
Eric has yet to get a text back from either of the people that he wanted on the stream, so...
I might just go put a fence in on Friday, but I'll let you know on Friday.
Alright, we're going to raid a new channel, Room 51 Live. They're playing Marvel Smash Up.
Smash Up!
So let's go spread some love over to a new channel. We love you guys. We'll be back here. If Derek's not here on Friday, we'll be back on Monday. But we love you guys. Stay safe, stay amazing, and we'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.
Love each other. What happened to peace?
Bye!